Smoked mussels in oil. It's a fantastic pantry staple to have. I'm going to show you how to turn this staple into a delicious pasta. So first up, we need some classics in some olive oil. A nice big pan. We'll add some extra virgin olive oil, about a tablespoon. And I don't want to waste any of the oil that comes with the smoked mussels. So I'll add some of that, so we're not wasting it. And look at the mussels, they're so tender and soft, and they're fantastic as is, but they're really, really nice in a pasta like this. Okay, some onion, so 1 onion that I've finely chopped, along with 3 cloves of garlic. I'll just bruise them. Just a little tap. And just run your knife through it a few times. And the key here is not to add too much colour to our vegetables. We do want them to be soft though, so just on a medium heat for this fry. In with our garlic. And 1 celery stalk, giving that a really good wash. And I want to cut it about the same size as our onion. Now you can see what I'm doing here, just to make sure it stays all together. You want to keep it intact at the end, and by doing that, it's just nice and neat to finely chop like this. Just a little trick in the kitchen when you're using your knives. This celery is going to give this pasta a really nice sweetness. All right, pop that in. And to give it a hit of heat, some chili flakes, and let's toss this in the oil. And while that's cooking away, we can add our pasta. You could use spaghetti, fettuccine, but my preference is to use some large shells. Because the large shells have a slight cavity in it, that's going to soak up all the flavours and the mussel, so it's the perfect shape for this. All right, into some rapidly boiling water. I'll also add a generous pinch of salt. And I'm going to use about half of this packet, so this is enough for 2 people. Always give your pasta a stir, and then that's going to cook until it's al dente. This is looking really good now. I'm going to add some tomato paste. Now the tomato paste is going to thicken up our sauce, and I always like to cook off my tomato paste. So in that goes, give that a stir and just cook that for about a minute. I'll also add some curry powder. You're not adding a lot of this to make this into a curry spaghetti, which would sound a little bit crazy. This is just to give it a little je ne sais quoi, and I'm talking the smallest amount, so half a teaspoon. It's absolutely delicious with the mussels, so in that goes. And just like any spice, you want to toast it off slightly. Give that a stir. Smells so good. All right, some tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, I'll just cut in half. And we'll pop them in, and you can give them a bit of a squeeze as you add them to release some of the juices. Very nice. Toss that around and coat it in all that lovely flavour. And now some white wine to deglaze. Now, I don't want to add my mussels yet because they're so tender and soft and they're already cooked, so I do want to leave them to the last minute. Now we just have to wait for this to bubble away, allow that wine to cook off. I will add some of that starchy pasta water, and then we'll just wait for the pasta to cook, so another 5 minutes. Okay, this sauce is smelling really good, so we can add our smoked mussels, the whole can. In it goes. Just fold that through, and we can essentially turn the heat off now because the pasta is cooked and we just want all the flavours to come together. Drain off that excess liquid, and we'll just add all of that into our mussel sauce. And don't forget our parsley. I've used the stalks and the leaves. There's so much flavour in the stalks, so that can go in. And no parmesan for this style of recipe. It doesn't need it. There's so much flavour already in here. So just keep tossing and agitating the pan, and by doing that, we're really getting into the nooks and crannies of those shells. Okay, let's plate up. Big spoonful. Make sure you get those mussels, tomatoes, and all that yummy sauce. And I promise you, it's not going to taste like curry. It's just going to give it that little warmth with every mouthful. Smoked mussels, a great little pantry number to have to whip up a very delicious pasta.